how we can succeed in the industry using the BIM concept. So before starting the session, I would like to introduce ourselves. We are CADD International, a wing from UIT Group International. So we have been in the training in industry and construction industry since 1999. So big years of experience we have in the industry, and we have trained number of engineers and architects and all the construction professionals in the industry in order to make their skill more perfect and up to the industry expectation. Along with the professionals, we have also trained to different university students and emerging engineers we have given training. So today our main purpose is to understand how to get the core concept of BIM and what do you mean by BIM exactly, because nowadays you can see different people are telling different things about BIM. Somebody says that BIM is a kind of software, some people say that BIM is a operation tool and something. Obviously you all will be much more familiar nowadays about what is BIM and everything, but still we are here to share something which is a little bit informative. I hope it will be informative to all of you, and you can directly follow the link and our channel, CADD International channel. It will be live from today onwards, and you can share any of your questions or any queries related to BIM or any other construction softwares. We will be here to support you. And myself, I am Mithun. So we have a good team with us. Our corporate office is in Dubai. So all the standards and everything we are sharing, and all the students are being trained from us. So hopefully this will be a good session for you, I guess, like that. So wish you all the best. Thank you so much for joining with us in this morning. So anyway, we'll see how to proceed with this. So now I am taking you to a small presentation, which you can say that it is BIM and beyond. So what is the concept of BIM and how we have to understand or how we need to reach at a level where BIM expertise are working? Especially the core concept of BIM is what we have to understand. Okay. So you might be familiar about the term BIM. So BIM, it represents Building Information Modeling. Building Information Modeling, from the term itself you can understand that we are developing a system in which each and every information of all the building components are developed. So that is why if you are considering different companies, many big companies in the industry, you can see all of them will have a special BIM team with them who are much more expert in the industry with their special skills. So as a beginner, as I told before, it is not just for a big professionals or existing professionals. If you are a beginner just from the school or university levels or graduation levels, you should be aware about the concept of BIM. Okay, because now it is one of the trend changing or the currently changing scenario what is happening here. So I would like to share some pictures and everything during the sessions. Hope it will be interesting for you as well. So some of you will be familiar about this building, which we know this is one of the key building which is being constructed in Dubai. The name of the building is Museum of Future, which is one of the most amazing structure that is going to be built in the world, in the entire world. So definitely every countries in the world, they are looking forward to the BIM concept and how to make this concept more peculiar or more easy. That is the complete demand for everyone. Okay, so that is why in such a situation, people who know something about BIM have a good demand in the industry. That is why we are specialized in BIM specialization or BIM training. Okay, so most of you who are viewing this video, you might be familiar about the construction industry and you will be knowing about who all are involved in the construction industry as well. So if you can see my screen, you can say that these are the main three people who are involved in a construction procedure. You know, client. Client represents what? He is the owner who have the need. Consultants is a group of people, it's an association or it's an institute who designs the building for the client. It is completely a conceptualization, you can say that. And then you can find contractor. Contractor is a group of company or group of people who executes the project for the client. So in the construction industry, the procedure or the complete process is being carried out between these three people: client, consultants and contractors. So that is why these three group of people have number of employees with them, and definitely you can find that there will be a big problem of communication, big problem of timelining, many problems will be there, which is currently prevailing in most of the structures, most of the projects. So that is why you have to understand what are the typical problems those are faced in the construction industry. Typical problems which all of the people are telling, or all the big consultants and contractors are explaining about their problems in the industry. So this is what you can see. Almost 30% of project, it says that it does not meet the original budget, where you can say budget is one of the matter. Second thing you can say, the drawings are not proper or not sufficient for construction, which means the people who are involved in designing or drawing the projects, they are not aware about the practical situation of what should happen in the site. So what happened? Definitely the people who are drafting the designs and everything, there is a chance for them to make some mistakes. That is 92% of mistakes are happening in that way. And you can see 37% of the materials used in the construction is going as a wastage. Wastage means it will become as there is no use for that particular material. So that is the concept of wastage. And then what you can see there, it is 10% of the cost of the project is typically due to change of order. Change of order means what? The consultants or the client will have the discussions between them, or I'm not blaming anybody, but still you can say as the project progress, there will be some discussion between different people within the project. So definitely there is a chance for revisions or changes in design. So what happens? The people who are executing cannot make their project up to the budget what they have planned. Okay, so such kind of problems can happen. And also you can see 38% of carbon emissions. If you are considering eco-friendly atmosphere in our world, you can say that 38% of carbons are emitted from buildings. That will be a big number, right? Because it is normally we have a thought that most of the carbons are emitted from automobiles or something, but it is not like that as per the study. You can see this is from relevant data from the survey. You can say 38% of carbon is emitted from building materials. So that is why when somebody is doing some buildings or something, you have to maintain proper eco-friendly sustainability concept of choosing the materials which you are using for the project. So though these are considered as one of the major, like 5 major points those are faced in the typical industry. Obviously there can be many number of additional problems that everyone are facing, but still we have to confine our discussion within these 5 points. Okay, so what happens is, because of these 5 points, all the experts who are involved in the construction industry, they are pretty much confused how to proceed the project in a perfect way, how to remove, or how we cannot remove, definitely we cannot remove, right, but how to reduce these problems up to our maximum extent. So when these discussions happen around the world, they have defined a concept called BIM. And one more thing I have to add with this thing, BIM is not a new concept. BIM is not a new concept. This is prevailing years ago. Okay, but we have termed it as BIM, and we have made it as a special system or special process in the coming years only, in the previous years only. So that is why now everybody are focusing more on BIM or something. So if you look for the definition of a BIM, I just want to clear that. You can see there, it is an intelligent model based process. Intelligent, please note down that point. It is an intelligent model based process. So intelligent and process is very important there, because intelligent means what? They will give you an idea which is intelligent, which means whatever is practical, that is what they are defining there. And also this is not just a model only, this is just like a process which helps AEC. What do you mean by AEC? AEC means you all are familiar, right? Architecture, engineering and construction professionals. So that is called AEC professionals. So what is written there? It is an intelligent model based process which helps AEC professionals to more efficiently plan, design, construct and manage buildings and infrastructure. That is what the point is. So don't think that BIM is completely for building only, it is related to infrastructure as well. So nowadays we have to tell very important thing is AEC, architecture, engineering, construction is changed, or it is transformed to digital architecture, engineering, construction and operations. If you look for the latest trends in the industry, we will be coming with the latest updates in the coming videos. Still I have to tell you that AEC has transformed to digital architecture, engineering and construction. You can call it as DECO, D and O, before AEC and after AEC, D before and O after, which means you are completely digitalizing the process and operation. That is very important. Very important means, if you look at this life cycle of BIM, you can see after the designing, which is happening from the consultants, when the design happens, it is taken for execution. If you can see this circular cycle here, the first step start with the design. Design means what? The consultants and everything concept is developed, and then the designing is started, and once the design is executed, you have to understand they are going to execute it in the site, which means they are going to build it. So once the building is built happened, you have to do what? You have to hand it over to the client, and they have to operate the building or whatever it may be. So this complete life cycle is what involved in BIM. So if you start from this conceptual design, see, if you can see this area, conceptual design, there is the start of our project. Whatever project happens, it starts from the design. Say for example, the discussion between the client and the consultants, which means they start from conceptualizing, and the consultant gives the concept to the client. If he is okay, they will be developing the detailed design of that concept. So once the detailed design is developed, what they have to do? They have to undergo different analysis. Analysis includes structural analysis is there, and even complete energy level analysis is there. That is coming in the next sessions. So after completing the analysis, when the team is confident enough to execute this project, what they can do? They have to document the structure in such a way that this is ready for construction. So once the documentation has happened, every corrections are made. They have it can have different revisions, recorrections, checking and corrections, and everything happens. After everything is perfect, they will be sending that to the site. That is what you can see here. What you can see, construction planning and fabrication, which means they are making it ready to the site. So for making it ready to the site, what we have to do? You have to plan it, you have to fabricate it, and you have to take it. And during that procedure, you have to consider some level of 4-dimensional and 5-dimensional data. You might be familiar with what is 4D and 5D. 4D represents the time and 5D represents the cost, which means literally you can say that you are going to connect, or you are going to incorporate the timeline of the project and the cost criteria of the project within this life cycle. So it happens there. Okay, day 1 what should happen, day 2 what should happen, day 15 what should happen, like the way through the when the construction is being progressed, you have to understand what should happen at what time and what should be the cost of this much task. So that is what you are deciding at that location. And once it is during that planning time, you have to undergo logistic management. You can see there construction logistics are there, which means you have to understand something about the building equipments or construction equipments. Say for example, the building materials, where we have to place the building material and what kind of accessories or equipments you have to place at which place of the site. Okay, and then when the construction progresses, and then finally we handed over the project to the client, and once we did that, what we have to do? We have to take our stand away, right? Is it correct or not? We don't have to, we shouldn't take our stand out, because we should be there with them, which means when they start the operations, you have to track whether it is being operated properly or it is being maintained properly, including HVAC, electrical, plumbing, firefighting areas, and everything, even the interior spaces as well. So the such operation and maintenance O&M department, it is one of the biggest department in the industry. So even they also have the role here in BIM. Especially I mentioned before logistic management. Actually logistic team is available for every project. So logistic team also have to manage and control everything with that. And once the building is operated and after some particular time, what happens is it will get some kind of problem happens for the building. After its life cycle, what we have to do, we have to redesign or we have to renovate the building. So for renovation, what we have to do, we have to demolish the building and we have to recreate, and every time this will happen and the same cycle will repeat. Okay, so this is the general cycle what happens in the industry. So at this scenario, BIM plays a vital role in managing all these levels. So that is why we have to understand more about BIM. Okay, so that is what I need to tell you with this BIM life cycle. And if you go little more into the next level of BIM concept, you have to understand there are some sort of standards. It is not some, a lot standards are there, which is one of the important backbone of, you can see it is the pillar of BIM, which means you cannot simply go and do something in the system. You have to understand the standards prevailing in that particular area and how you have to play or how you have to act in whichever state of the project. So everything is documented. Everything is documented using some kind of codes. You can see I have mentioned there PAS is there, BS is there, and different protocols are available. And even different people are developing their own standards for BIM implementation. Okay, so at this scenario, you have to understand how to go in with the BIM standards and everything. Okay, so we'll come into it in the coming sessions. So you can see these are the concept of BIM mandates and everything. And one more thing, if I want to add to your system, that we have to understand how far the BIM is matured into the industry, for accessing a project. Okay, so what you have to understand, there are certain maturity levels for BIM. Okay, see, if you can see this image, I think this is more familiar for you. You can see it starts from 1990s. It is just a number only. Don't consider that it started from 1990. I'm just giving a year as 1990s. Okay, so if you consider, we will call that 1990s concept of construction as level 0 BIM, which is the preliminary stage where paper was our main tool. Okay, then later level 1 came. There some sort of 2D and 3D also developed, and files are used. And see, level 1 was in 2000. This is just a year only. And then when level 2 reached, it says the 2010 times. So there some standards developed, collaboration concept happened. Collaboration means what? That is what we are looking forward. Okay, because if you want to work in BIM in the present scenario, you have to understand what is meant by collaboration. We will be taking a detailed session about collaboration in the coming classes. So you have to understand this is what level 2, and definitely after this concept you will have the future. It is level 3. You can see it is an integrated service. Integrated service means only one location will be there and everyone have to do their part from one particular hub. It is something like that. One hub is there and everybody will be doing their role at that particular location. We will be explaining it about these concepts in the detail in the coming classes. But before that, I just want to get you an idea that BIM level 2, this is the scenario. Designer 1 will design building A, 2 will do B, 3 will do C. Each designer prepares or each designer produce separate models. And finally, these are combined and made as a single file. That is what happening now, and we can consider that as a level 2 concept. This is not complete level 2. There are certain other details behind level 2 which we have to discuss in detail. Okay, I'm not going into that area now. We will be covering in later. And if you go to the level 3 concept, what you have one particular area, and all designers work on same single files, and separate responsibility for characters are hard to define. So separate responsibilities you have to define. Each people should do what is their major responsibility have to be noticed in a better way. Okay, this is one of the expectation, and once everything is okay, you can directly enter into the industry even if you are a beginner. Okay, so if you look at this picture, what you can understand that is, it is just like an evolution from two-dimensional drawing. It is just 2D only, and then later we are taking it to 3D model, and then 4D. You can see time is linked with the model, cost integration, and then it comes 6D, 7D, many items are there, which means you have to undergo facility management. Facility management is what we have discussed before about operations. Okay, and there is a concept called sustainability. Sustainability means what? You have to make sure whatever you are creating is eco-friendly. Okay, so that is what you have to understand whether if you are undergoing some BIM related projects. Okay, so in general, what we have to tell or what we have to understand is that BIM is not just a software. It is a combination of software used for implementing a process. So in general, you can understand that BIM is considered as a process from starting till the life cycle of the building. So each area we are planning properly and implementing properly without any failure in different areas. Okay, so this is what we have to share with you in today's live session. Anyway, this is just an introduction only. We will be coming back to you in the coming sessions with more details and more information about BIM and related ideas and everything. And definitely it will be a good session, and more topics will be discussed in the coming sessions, and hope you have understood a brief idea regarding what we have explained and what all things we have gone through. And definitely thank you so much for joining with us, and appreciate your presence and everything. So thank you so much. We'll be seeing you in the coming sessions. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. We have gone through, and definitely thank you so much for joining with us, and appreciate your presence and everything. So thank you so much. We'll be seeing you in the coming sessions. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. We have gone through, and definitely thank you so much for joining with us, and appreciate your presence and everything. So thank you so much. We'll be seeing you in the coming sessions. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.